friends, my name is Mackenzie, also known as Emtothethird, and today is April 1st. I have been toying with the idea of doing an informal kind of knit-along challenge where I work on some of my WIPs. I pulled all of them out recently, and I think what happens for me, because obviously the number of WIPs you have, your stash that you have is very personal. And for me right now, it's not even the number of WIPs, it is it's the pressure of some of these WIPs, which are for some people, which are samples for the store that I work at, that are making my creativity, it's like blocking the flow of my creativity. One of which was a Christmas gift that now, of course, it's April. One of which was a sweater for my partner that is done except for the sleeves. So I wanted to just go through all my WIPs. My goal, of course, is to finish them during the month of April, but I'm not actually sure if that'll happen. But I just want to make significant progress. So let's go through all of them. We're gonna make a tally of which ones I actually want to intend to finish during this month. And yeah, let's talk about it. Okay, first I want to talk about two bigger WIPs that I'm not intending to finish in April. They're just longer term projects. One does have a deadline for later, which I will explain. The other one I can just pick up and work on, and it's just a longer term project. I knew it when I cast it on, and it has remained that way. Okay, the first project is my Cozy Comfort Throw. This is a pattern by a homespun house, and what I like about it is that it was specifically made so that each section uses almost every bit of a 25-gram mini. And so I have used some mini skeins, but largely I've just been using leftover sock yarn for it. I mean, this is gonna be a multi-year project. I just don't always want to work on it. And when I have a bunch of projects that every once in a while it's like you know you have to pick up stitches for the sleeve of a sweater, or you have to do some cabling or lace or whatnot. And this is just something I can come back to and pick up and knit. If you watch my other podcast, Sibling Energy, I've been working on this while recording that, and then it does inspire me to kind of finish a little section every once in a while. I have one of my little Cupie progress keepers here. So that's how much I've knit since that first episode that we recorded. So, I'm making progress, but again, it's not something that I'm gonna bang out. It's a slow project. And that's why I'm definitely not interested in finishing it during April. It's just a long-term project, but that is WIP number one. My second long-term WIP also has to do with my other podcast. So I am knitting the Barrack pullover for the Sibling Energy Bucket List Knit Along out of Erin by Marie Wallen, and I am using Peace Fleece. I did finish the color work pretty quickly on this cardigan. The construction's kind of wild. I had to adjust because I wasn't getting gauge, but I started finally working the cabled pattern on the body, and it's going slowly but surely. But that was part of this bucket list moment, was that these are patterns that we knew would take a long time, and in knitting there's not really anything instantly gratifying except maybe buying yarn. So we really wanted to challenge ourselves to do these bigger projects, and so that's the whole point. And I know I'll work on it and get to it, and I think I will be able to enjoy working on it more once some of these other WIPs are cleared out. So let me go through and start talking about the WIPs that I'm hoping to finish in April. So I was looking through all my bags of WIPs and I did find one that I have decided to frog. The fit is really good on it, and I've been sitting on this for a couple of years and I haven't worked on it. And so I've just decided to reclaim the yarn. This is a self-drafted combination circular yoke raglan, and it like fits me really well. Let me put it on real quick. Like the fit is actually great. You can see that I was doing a little bit of duplicate stitch here. So my idea was to have this circular yoke that across it said sin vergüenza, which means no shame in Spanish. So you can see I was playing with a little bit of duplicate stitch here. My plan was for across the chest, it was going to say sin vergüenza. However, I was going to use this kind of like Gothic font, and I realized because this is like a darker blue and then the sweater is like this mustard color, I realized that it looked like a Corona bottle and I didn't love that. I keep coming back to this idea. I think I will do it at some point, and honestly, like, I think that this sweater would fit me really well, but I haven't worked on it. And I don't think I'm going to. So we're just gonna reclaim the yarn for another project. This is some of my favorite hand-dyed yarn from Urso Yarn Company in Quebec. So I can use this for something else. So that's the first frog, and I think it's actually the only frog. But you know, it's good to have some of those. Now let's talk about sock WIPs. Okay, so let's talk about socks. This is a sock tube that I got as like a Christmas sock moment, and my intention was to make a bunch of socks for my family 2 years ago. Haven't done it. Ooh. Had my friend crank these tubes from some nomadic yarn skeins, and then I was gonna add the toes, heels, and cuffs. And I did do one sock or one pair of socks, and I gifted that to my cousin, but I still have this whole sock tube and just this sock tube that just has toes on either end. So I would like to just get this out. Even like, I don't know if I'm going to end up just making them for me, which is fine, making me and Kay a couple pairs of socks, or if I'm going to save them for Christmas time. I don't know. And they're in this cute project bag that I made years ago during Christmas time. But anyway, I would like to get those done. And speaking of sock tubes, I have had a moment recently of just knitting sock tubes. So I have this sock tube that I knit from a 50-gram skein from Nomadic Yarns in their yak base. It's very pretty, and my intention for this one was actually to make a tutorial on how to turn sock tubes into socks. So that is something that I would like to do this month. And then I also have these two that have toes on the bottom and cuffs on the top, and also really happy with these. I've explained this before, but I have been just knitting sock tubes when I go out, because I do like knitting when I'm out with friends at a bar, but I don't like having to pay attention to doing the whole heel gusset moment when I'm out. So I've just started casting on a 64 stitch sock tube, and then that's what I knit on because I can knit on it in the dark. Like, rarely do I have drop stitches or anything. And so I have my next skein actually all caked up and ready. And I also knit this koozie. This is a pattern from Nitty Natty. I honestly thought they were so dumb. I didn't think I would ever use one, but I was inspired to make one because my yarn, the bag that I'm using as my purse right now, my yarn keeps getting caught in the zipper and it's been driving me crazy. I had to like rip you know, the yarn because it was so tangled in the zipper a couple of times. So I was like, well, maybe if I have this little self-contained little koozie moment, then that won't happen, especially because I'm a center puller. And I think that that is even more important when you have your yarn in like your purse so you can pull. And for the most part, there aren't issues. I actually think this might be like the same colorway as this, which is very funny. They're both unique socks from Earth Yarns. I will double check that and put a link down below. And then again, this is a little skein from Nomadic Yarns. So this is going to be my next sock tube. It is a 100-gram skein. I haven't actually knit a full 100-gram skein. So we'll just see kind of how it goes. This is not something that I want to finish in April, but it is to note because it's like my next WIP. And again, this just comes out with me when I'm at the bar. Okay, then we have actual socks, not sock tubes. So I have been doing a D20 sock project on my live streams here on YouTube. If you're interested in joining one and contributing to a D20 sock, which I will explain in a moment, you should definitely subscribe and hit the bell icon and it will tell you when I'm going live, which as of late has been weekly and very fun. So please come hang out and join the live stream. So I've done several D20 projects. I have recorded them for TikTok and Instagram where I have a 20-sided die and I have 20 colors of yarn. And I roll the die and that first roll is for which of the 20 skeins I'm going to use. They're all numbered 1 through 20. And then the second roll is for how many rows of that color I knit. So that's how it initially started. I knit a pair of socks, I knit a second pair of socks, and then I knit an entire sweater. All of those are documented on TikTok and Instagram. And so when I found the Pacific Knit Co. doodle decks, I was like, hello, this would be perfect for a D20 project. You roll the die, you pick your yarn, and then you get to pick a color work motif. So this is the basic doodle deck. And all of the colors were not chosen by a D20, but by viewers on the live stream. So what I have them do is donate via Ko-Fi. So they just buy me a coffee, $3, and then they get to pick a number 1 through 20. And these were the colors they picked for that first sock. I think it turned out amazing. Love her. And then we have been working on the second sock, and I'm almost caught up to the last live stream numbers. So look at that. They're so different. This one's very warm and that other one is very cool, but it's very fun. And the main color I'm using is Jada Woo. She is a local dyer that I met at Sacred Sheep last year, and just a random assortment of scraps otherwise. But this has been very fun. This will be finished by the end of April because I will just be doing my live streams. Usually I've been doing them on Thursday afternoons. I did have some people ask me to do them on weekends, so like once a month I'm trying to do a weekend live stream, and then every week I'm doing Thursday evening live streams. They're really fun. You should come hang out and, you know, knit and chat with us. So yeah, that has been a very fun project. So those will definitely be done by the end of April, and that's probably like the first real done by April WIP that we can add to the tally that I'm gonna make right here. So that is the D20 colorwork socks. The next pair of socks, I knit the first one, banged it out, have not knit the second one. This was one of the pattern options for Summer Lee's Summer Work Cuff Club. Obviously it's all over color work, and I just was obsessed with this. Kind of obsessed with gingham in general. like gingham for spring, groundbreaking, but I don't care. So yeah, really, really love how this turned out. And I just need to knit the second one. I've cast it on, right? Yeah, it's cast on. I've done like one repeat. I just need to finish that. So that's WIP number 2 for April. Definitely doable. I can do that. So that's two WIPs so far to be completed in April. Well, technically the sock tubes are also, but that also has to do with the video. But just the sock tubes on camera, I guess that's, are we up to 4? Maybe I'll just do like 1 week of just socks. See how far we get. Next up is sweaters. The first one is my oldest one, and this is a sweater for my partner, Kay. I think the body is done. Yeah, it is. The body is done. And I just have to do the sleeves and obviously like pick up and do the cuff. The sleeves have this beautiful cable motif on them. Let's see if we can focus that. And the pattern is the Muscadine by Andrea Gahn. And I just have to do the sleeves. Like, it would be so quick to do, but I just haven't. So that's definitely, I would love to get this off the needles and onto Kay, even though like it's starting to warm up. I think it would just be like a perfect little like, you know, early morning pullover. And they've been really into fashion and exploring their like personal style lately. And they have expressed excitement about getting a hand knit sweater. So I really do want to finish it for them. It's in beautiful yarn, locally made yarn, along the Chehalis from you and I in Chehalis, Washington. Yeah, there's a lot of sentimentality about this, and I just need to do the sleeves, and I just haven't prioritized it. I'm sorry, Kay. And so I would really love to get that done by the end of April. The next one is my most recent cast on, and like the project that I've been spending most time on because I'm the most excited about it. And that is the Traveler cardigan by Ozetta. And I fully copied another creator here on YouTube. Her channel is very sweet. It's Connie G. And I saw she made this in these colors essentially from a completely different yarn. And I was just like, it just looks so cool and awesome. And I was like, I want that. I want that. Which I kind of rarely do. So yeah, I've been working on this. It's made from some yarn in my stash, others that I got from the store that I work at. It's a drop shoulder cardigan, and I don't feel immense pressure like to finish it, except that I just want to wear it. And we're getting into warmer weather, so the opportunity is becoming less and less likely. I have decided that I'm going to stop the body here. It's about that long. And do the sleeves before finishing the body. So one of the goals I have for the beginning of this month is to just pick up for one of the sleeves, just so that like I can get it started. So that's something that I think I might do today, just so that like it's ready to go. Because some of those things kind of like stall me, even though it's like not really a big deal, but you know, you're like, ugh, that's not just picking up and knitting, so you have to think about it a little bit. But I think that would be a great option for just like kind of getting going. Would love to also finish this by the end of April. Is this seeming overly ambitious to you? Me too. This is not meant to be, whatever, you know, it's fine. Okay, last but not least is my tessellated vest. Now, Do I regret this? No, not necessarily, but I will tell you, it is taking just much longer to knit overall. I mean, I very rarely have something on my needles for 6 months like this. And I was definitely working on this like in October. Like I brought it with me to Rhinebeck. So it's like we're at about 6 months. So yeah, this is not one of the projects that I want to finish in April. I don't even know if I'll work on it. I would love to wear this for spring, but I'm just like not really enjoying the process at this point. So yeah, I just want to note it. It's of note. All right. I mean, it's so pretty. I'm using my hand spun. I'm using some Tumalo fiber for the main color. Like, it looks gorgeous. It's going to be so pretty to wear. I've envisioned outfits that I want to wear with it. It's just not my favorite thing. I will probably not knit another mosaic thing for a while. Let's just say that. The last 2 WIPs that I need to finish this month are, one, not started. This is a bag of yarn from the store I work at. This was a sample that I need to make. We have there's a whole thing going on with it, but I need to work on that. So I think part of my task list for today, including picking up stitches for the sleeve of the traveler cardigan, is to also just cast this on and kind of get myself situated. It's going to be a chevron baby blanket. So I think once that's cast on, it'll go pretty quickly. It's worsted yarn. I think it's knit on like a size 8. So that's another one. And last but certainly not least is my most urgent WIP. So this is the shawl. Y'all have heard me, especially if you've watched my Vlogmas, talk about this shawl, talk about why I'm making it, but for those of you who are new here, this is a gorgeous shawl called the Pop Spots shawl. It's a crescent shawl. It has this beautiful knitted on lace, and I'm making it for my mom with naturally dyed alpaca silk cashmere. But the thing is, this is not the first time I have made this exact shawl. I made a version of this for myself years ago, like 6, 7, 8 years ago, and then I ended up giving it to my mom because it just wasn't working for me, and she loved it. Like, there's the pictures from the time period that I gave her that, she's always wearing it. So she was on a trip. I think it was like right before everything shut down in 2020, and she just left it on a plane and never found it. So she immediately bought the yarn after having a slight panic attack at the price and was like, please, can you knit this for me again? And I was like, I mean, I can, I don't know when. And so this December, I was like, it's time. We're gonna suck it up. We're gonna put on our big girl chonies and we're gonna knit this for mama. So I finished all of the body of it on like Christmas Eve, I think. And then I started knitting the lace and I was like, oh no, this is a much bigger project than I sort of anticipated. So what kind of lit the fire under me to get it going is that she is going to visit our family in Australia. It's fall there right now, and she's leaving on April 15th. And I was like, okay. And also her birthday is April 25th. So I was like, okay, I want to get it to her so she can travel with it. I am putting an air tag in it. We're sewing an air tag into this bitch. And so I started working on the lace. since I decided to do that, which I believe was Friday, I have knit this much, which is not an insignificant amount, but that's not even at the halfway point yet. The halfway point is like here, and each repeat is only 6 stitches of the border. I'm not one to usually like time how long it takes me and like do measurements, but I'll tell you that this bit was 8 of the 10 episodes of Normal People. Plus some knitting time at work. So I don't know. I don't know why I'm feeling so daunted by it, but I have made good progress. I'm working on it. I'm getting into the groove of the lace, and I would love to have this finished so that she can take it on the plane with her to Australia. So that is my goal. This is the most urgent this is the most urgent project because I would like to have it done, blocked with her on the plane. And I've got 2 weeks to do that. Doable, I think, totally. It's not my favorite thing to work on, but whatever. Kay and I have also been watching Severance, and that has been helpful in the evenings. I just work on that. So that's the WIPs. Those are the WIPs. And I'm casually calling this a spring cleaning knit along. I would love for you to join me. It's not a formal knit along. It's just like if you want some accountability for getting your WIP count down. Again, this is a very personal thing. I think because 2 of these projects are so close to being done and for other people that it's gonna feel real good to get them off of my needles. So that's kind of why I'm like, okay, let's do it. So yeah, that's what's going on. I'm going to be uploading a video every week to track my progress. Hold me to it. And also I think I'm going to be updating on TikTok. So yeah, if you don't follow me on TikTok or Instagram, it is at Emtothethird. We're having a good time. But I hope that for those of us in the Northern Hemisphere, spring is feeling good. It's sunny today. I feel like I could climb a mountain. I don't want to, but just the energy of the sun really is very, very impressive right now. Like, it shouldn't be surprising, but it still always is somehow. So yeah, thank you all for being here. Subscribe if you haven't already. There's going to be a new episode of Sibling Energy out in the next couple of weeks. And yeah, happy spring.